This is an after-school program podcast.
What key are we in, G?
Yeah.
Let me explain VeggieTales. So a guy
break
wanted
down
to
VeggieTales.
create a show about explaining the Bible to kids, and he had just learned animation. It's a really cool. I read the guy's book. What's his name? Phil Vischer. And he was gonna use candy, like a bunch of like candy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have like a talking." And his wife was like, "Parents are not gonna let their kids watch candies talk about the Bible." And so he turned it to vegetables, and and
smart.
VeggieTales was born. Yeah.
Do you think it helped vegetable sales?
Probably.
So that's like the thing now, where like do people want to? Do kids want
sales?
to eat vegetables, knowing that I don't want to eat tomato. Tomato. Wait a second.
That's smart though.
Yeah,
Real
very
smart.
smart.
What are their names?
Bob the tomato is on the right, and then Larry the cucumber. I never thought I'd have to explain VeggieTales to a guest, but here we are.
Yeah,
Hey
VeggieTales
there.
historian.
I think I've seen them as pirates.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been pirates.
And he just did his the remix of that song.
Yes.
They just put that out. Right?
Okay. Awesome.
So what they ended up doing was just like essentially just like creating parodies. Like there's a Star Wars, I guess, version, I think, of VeggieTales or something. Where they'll make
Shout
like
out to
a scene.
VeggieTales.
Hey man, innovative
Shout
stuff.
out to VeggieTales.
Yeah, and shout out to the guy who sent that painting.
Yeah. Hold on just a second. I am losing my microphone. Microphone check, testing 1 2 3.
Check.
Okay, I'm back. I get it.
Check.
All
Check.
I get it now. I'm on it.
Hey, you want to do the NBA playoffs intro? For
Oh
Kyle?
yeah. First of all, do you want to do the who are we? Who are we?
Whoa! I get an intro. An
Who are
NBA
we?
player?
Yeah.
Shoot, you spoiled it, baby. Okay, yeah. My name is Shama, and I am wearing a Fall for Greenville shirt, which is a very local shirt for an international audience. That is Church Stories. Sorry.
It's got the rabbit on it.
It's got the rabbit. It's got the swamp rabbit. It's got all the things. The muddy, dirty. No.
Love it.
Yep. My name's PD, and if you're listening to this, we are 6 feet apart, all of us.
Yes. I can't touch anybody.
If you are not listening, if you're watching, close your eyes.
Hey guys, we were all tested before we got
We
here.
were all tested.
Thank
we
you,
do
Shama, for providing the test for us.
Yeah.
the Joe Rogan thing where we test everybody on the. No, we don't got that kind of money. And you've heard him talk already, but our guest on the show today is a comedian,
Pro wrestling connoisseur.
the best smelling guest Church Stories has ever had.
Right.
You've got one of the funniest jokes I think I'd ever heard.
Oh God, which one's this?
Longtime friend of the show, former Catholic school student.
Kyle Nolan.
That's right. Give it up.
Yeah,
Woo, Catholic school
Did we
years.
cover everything?
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself?
Lazy. Lazy's one. Lazy. I'm kind. I'm helpful.
Lazy and kind's a good combo.
Kind's a good combo.
Yeah,
You know?
I think so.
Sounds like a good
I'm
album.
not very confrontational.
Kyle Nolan live, Lazy and Kind.
Hey,
The Lazy and Kind tour.
sitting on the couch and get you anything? No. All right, cool. Thanks. Let me know anything. No,
cool.
I know I'm not like super unconfrontational. I was a security guard for like 3 weeks, and then I was just like, because I'm that guy when like stuff goes down, I'm like, oh man, someone should really stop this, and then like I'm the guy wearing the security outfit, so it's like, oh, that's me.
So we have a mutual friend, Stash. You know Stash. You met him because he did the breakup press conference.
yeah.
Shout out Stash.
How do you know Stash?
Man, middle school.
Really?
Middle school. I knew him before he went by Stash. I know him as Ryan.
Before he had facial hair, you knew him.
That's funny.
It's great because I remember. It's funny. I've known him so long. I remember when he started going by Stash.
Wait a second. So did he make like a formal, like a press conference?
Dude, it was so formal that he had business cards. His
Shut up.
I've gotten
cards
one of those
were
business
yellow,
cards. It's in
yellow
my room,
card
yeah.
with a handlebar mustache, and on the back it just has his phone number.
Wait, how long has it been the same one? Because that's what I got.
Ever? I think he said the same phone number forever.
So he made like he made business cards and announced like, guys,
he had
brand-
the handlebar,
brand switch.
grew it out, got the wax, did the turn, the curl, and then made it official. Started introducing himself as Stash to people. So then I would meet people, and I was like, "Is Ryan here?" And they're like, "You mean Stash?"
You
and
did
like
that to me.
The
too,
first time, and it was like annoying. I was like, "Oh my god!" All right. But now it's like, it's stuck, so it's not as like, it's stuck. So I'm like, all right, stash. All right,
See,
it's in.
I'm always, a lot of people try to do that thing where they're like, guys, I go by, my name is Rick, but you can call me Ricky, my dude. And you're like, it never works. But
Giving
like for
yourself,
a guy,
giving yourself a nickname is always rule number one.
It worked for him. But the reason I brought him up is because you mentioned that security story. Ryan, should I even tell this on the show? I hope this doesn't get him in trouble. But he told me a story of when he worked security, and he just thought it'd be funny to yell, "Everybody get down right now!"
Oh my god.
yeah. I'm pretty sure that's like one of those things where they're like, it's a terror.
He got fired if that happened. If that happened, he 100% got fired.
Can you adjust the microphone to your mouth just a tad?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
Is it in my chest hair?
No,
is it sitting in the
you're,
forest?
we just want to hear your voice better, man.
Yeah, so Kyle and I reconnected because of Stash, because I started working with Stash.
Yes.
Stash was one of the people who, when I met, I was instantly like, okay, I'm friends with you.
He's that guy. He's that guy.
Yeah, so he told me about a WrestleMania party, because I think we were talking about wrestling, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. He's like, oh, it's my buddy Kyle's house. And then I was like, wait, Kyle who? He's like, Kyle Nolan. I was like, I know him.
That's true. That's true.
I was like, can I come? And I just hit up Kyle on Facebook, and then yeah, then we started
Wrestling
a
buddies.
friendship around pro wrestling.
Wrestling buddies. So
Dude.
we have a nice long text chain. Every time something happens,
Yeah.
we're gonna go whenever stuff's happening again. We're going Double or Nothing next year in
Yeah,
Vegas.
dude, I
if it
had
happens,
so
hopefully.
much fun. Actually, both of you guys, like, we both went to wrestling shows. Together. That were like.
Shama, you're a wrestling guy.
I am
he
not.
goes with me.
I go. I go
They're
with
so much
PD.
fun to go live.
Oh yeah. Dude,
It's
there's
the
this
best, yeah.
one video. We gotta put it up. But where I was at a wrestling show in North Carolina, was it? North
Yeah, it was in
Carolina?
Indy, North Carolina.
And these
Always
guys
good.
are like slamming each other, and they went like into the seats, and I'm just standing there, and like PD like zoomed in on like I'm just standing there looking straight into the lens, and these people behind me are just like slapping each other's chests. And it was like just the dichotomy of like, hey, I'm here at an event, and behind me is pandemonium.
I see everyone moving and Shama just staying there, not knowing to get out of the way.
It's like one of my favorite days ever. Kyle, what you called me out of the blue.
Yes.
And we're like,
yes.
hey, dude.
Little brother had a hookup, fraternity hookup. My little brother had a nice hookup.
Yeah.
To go to a pay-per-view, a WWE pay-per-view in Charlotte to be seat fillers. So to basically work for WWE. And that job is when somebody gets up to either go to the bathroom or just leave, a producer goes, hey, you sit there. So it's like always in the first few rows.
Yeah,
Really?
always on
Yeah.
an in-camera shot. So you're just sitting there, and they're like, here.
How did you?
So my little brother was in a fraternity. He was a president of fraternity when he was in college. One of his fraternity brothers works in Charlotte where the Hornets play, and he's head of like concessions or whatever. And so he got word. He knows my little brother's a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So he got word that wrestling was coming. Was like, hey man, WWE's coming. Do you guys want to be seat fillers? And he's like, yeah. So my little brother told me, he's like, you can bring one person.
Yeah.
He was my guy. I was like, let's go. We got on camera.
Dude.
Yeah.
On camera, super close. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks were fighting. She poured mustard on her. Like, I'm on camera. It's nuts. Forever.
He
It's
ate
there
the mustard.
forever.
He went back.
off the table. Man,
That's.
it was nuts.
That's essentially that's a credit, right?
It was
Like
good.
you were
I
as
worked
seen
for
on-
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, it was cool because like since we had the inside of like the guy was like, hey, there's gonna be something happening here at some point. So we always had like our eye on the corner
Yeah,
where
so
we were gonna
you
go.
got to see it?
And then we saw a whole camera crew run up there. So we were like, something's happening up there. We need to go right now. So we were just hanging out where we knew something was gonna happen. And they came running right by, and we were, oh, man. it was
And then
great.
coincidentally, where they placed me, the route that they did, they passed right by me too. So yeah, I have
You're
a
in it.
video of that.
It's the Clash 2000. Was it 19 or
Clash
18?
of Champions,
Clash of
yes.
Champions. So if you guys want to watch that,
Dude, we got it. Is it on YouTube?
it's on. The
Hey,
WWE
there is
Network.
a picture of Kofi Kingston, and then if you look to the very top left of the frame, it's my blurry face.
Speaking of Kofi, I caught a pancake that night.
Yeah, you did.
I caught a pancake.
And
I remember you
I
caught a
was with you, and I
pancake.
caught it
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Kofi. Or it was from Kofi, and
Wrestling's
then
the best.
yeah,
I
so-
bet you they can't do that. Can they do that bit now? Like that
Oh,
gag?
they
I
still
don't
do.
know.
I think.
Does he
Yeah.
throw
Oh no,
pancakes
because of
to no one?
COVID. Yeah, they can't. But I remember after I caught it, everybody around me was like, "Give me a piece," and I was like, "All right." So I was handing out little pieces
Yeah.
to everybody, and then we all ate it.
Everyone-
Like it was communion.
It was like a weird. It was
No
like
one
a
was
weird
about COVID.
Jesus miracle
Yeah.
of PD and long hair
that's
passing
true.
out.
It was the pancake that
pancakes.
never ended.
It just never ended. He
Everyone
kept
got
on.
it.
Yeah, that was
And then the arena filled up, and it was
Everyone was full.
pre-COVID when you
Everyone
could
was full.
catch a pancake from a professional wrestler. It might have been in his tights. We don't know. You catch it from the wrestler, and you just hand little
wait a
pieces
second, wait a
out.
second. You catch it, and you're ecstatic.
So happy.
You are like, I did it.
I felt like an outfielder because he threw it up, and I was like,
That's
dude,
how I felt
the
too.
power, the
Dude.
power.
And then
the
immediately I was
power.
like, I have to eat this.
yeah.
I was watching. I was listening to a podcast. The guy was explaining like how weird movies and a lot of TV looks now because of like we're not as close. But
No.
dude, I was watching the movie and people were like, "Hey, what's up?" You know, and people were like, "Are you done with that drink?" And it was just like this weird closeness that now, knowing what we know, are like, that is so. We did that.
I know.
We
I
caught
miss
strange
it so
pancakes?
much. I
Dude,
miss it
me-
so much.
me too,
Oh, dude,
It's
man.
got to come back.
One thing that's
I
been
know.
happening at work because of all the hand sanitizer lying around is some like idiot 16-year-old busboy got a bunch of hand sanitizer on his hand and he got a lighter and he lit it and just like his whole hand went up in flames and he just shook it and it went out. And I was like, all right, sign me up. I'm next.
Did you do it?
He
Yeah.
learned that from Stash. I guarantee.
Really?
I guarantee Stash.
Y'all are, dude. Y'all are such a workplace hazard.
We
That's
did
such
it
a
in
nice
the middle
restaurant,
of the
too.
host stand area too.
Oh,
So
really?
Nobody happened to see.
Dude, that is.
I love that he did that in such a fine dining establishment.
Yeah, it's so.
I went to that. I went to your restaurant
Really?
for my prom. My junior prom. I went there for
and
dinner.
little did you know.
Little did I know.
Years later,
People
PD
were
being
all-
like, "Wait a second,
Yeah.
enough hand sanitizer. I can light my. I could be Thanos.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd be Thanos for like."
So one of the other greatest days of my life was when we flew to California. So I said to Shama, I was like, hey, let's go see New Japan as a joke, being like,
Yeah.
nobody's going to fly to
Oh, yeah,
California.
you guys did go.
and
to
I
So-
that.
and
I
then
had
Shama
time,
was
and I
like,
was like-
hey, let's do it. He didn't have a wife at the time.
No,
So
no.
he
Oh,
could
wow.
just fly to California to see wrestling. And then we went, initially
stayed
we
at
ran into Cody Rhodes twice in the Charlotte airport. Was it Atlanta?
I think it was
That's
amazing.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a picture with him?
Yeah, I two-sweeted him in the Starbucks line, and then before we got in the flight, I was like, can I get a picture? Brandy was there, too. So then we go to LAX. We run into him again.
Anybody who don't know who Brandy is? Brandy Rhodes. Google it. Man,
Yeah.
gorgeous. Congratulations, Cody.
We see him in LAX again, and then
Oh, this got creepy. Yeah, when we saw him in Atlanta,
Yeah.
we landed LAX.
It got creepy
he's there-
because of you, not because of the
what-
Brandy
because-
part.
No, no.
no.
Had to clarify.
yeah.
We made it creepy accidentally because
we ended up like following each other. / he's ahead of us or we're ahead of him for a bit.
yeah,
And then we rented a car, and we get on the shuttle, and he's on the shuttle, and then it's one of those things where if you've run into somebody so many
The
times,
eye
where you're
contact.
like, dude, like I'm not
and
following.
then we
you,
go to the rental car area and we pick the cars that are right next to each other.
right next to him, right.
So I'm just
Come
like I
on.
keep
So the whole
looking
time
You
at.
I'm
grabbed
like,
his bag. She's like, come on. Come
I'm
on.
like, oh.
I was in the passenger seat. I was just staring at the mirror because I could see Brandy from the mirror.
It was one of those things where I'm like, man, like where you want to explain, like,
Okay.
sorry, but you
Yeah,
know, like,
Mr.
what am I
Rhodes, Mr.
apologizing
Yeah,
for? It was just a series of coincidences.
And then I asked him, I was like, so you're facing the like GOD, you're gonna team up with Marty? He's like, yeah, but that match might not happen. He was working me because then the next day on the show, he got on the mic before the match happened and tried to cancel it. So,
I like that he was staying in kayfabe.
yeah,
Like, you know,
it was so cool.
not everyone does that. Good for him.
But the actual
Cody.
show was like it was the
crazy,
greatest
man.
wrestling show I'd ever seen. It was the Young Bucks against Omega and Ibushi in the main event.
What was the
it
name
was
of the
incredible.
arena? That
Pretty.
weird diamond.
Walter Pyramid.
Yeah, the pyramid.
There you go.
It's at like 5,000 people.
Is it
and-
shaped like a pyramid?
Yeah, it was.
That's
It was
awesome.
really
Super cool.
That's
looking,
awesome.
I two-sweeted the Young Bucks dad at the show.
How'd you know it was
too.
Young Buck's dad?
I watched Being the Elite
Okay.
at the time.
I've seen a couple episodes. I don't watch all.
He was
of
like
it, but-
walking up the stands, and he
Yeah.
was like, "That's the Young Bucks." I'm
Meltzer
like, How
was
do you
there.
know?
Ron Funches was there.
What? He's
Yeah.
all over the
It's
place.
pretty crazy.
And the Wi-Fi or whatever internet was like terrible. For some
Yeah.
people.
During the show, you're like,
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out when you were saying, "Oh, that's Ron Funches." I was like, "Oh, I wonder what he's doing, like his Instagram stories or whatever." And
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
he's a big wrestling guy.
Yeah.
Huge wrestling guy.
I met him. We actually talked about wrestling in Charlotte. I was like, "Do you watch New Japan?" He's like, "Yeah, I watch New Japan."
Yeah. He calls people out on Twitter.
Oh yeah, he said he got off Twitter because of that. I think I heard him
That's
say that on
good.
the
Everyone
podcast.
should, but everyone shouldn't at the same time. I love Twitter, but I hate Twitter. too.
Dude, me too, man. I love Twitter.
It's good, but then it's also
It's
like
like I love it, but then I start like being really toxic, like
Yeah.
thinking about negative things all the time.
Well, the thing about it is like Twitter. There are like themes, like running gags that go on, and it only makes sense if you're consistently on Twitter.
If you're in it, yeah.
Right? So then I'll like find myself where I'll explain something to my wife, and I'm like, "Oh, you got to see this! Like, see this Will Smith meme." She's like, "I don't get it," and I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, you don't know what's happening
so
with
Will
Smith
Smith,
right now?
Jada, and the best because
You a big fan?
August
Sit
and
down.
da-da-da-da-da." Oh, I'm explaining like weird YouTube drama just because I saw it on Twitter, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
I get all 100% of my news from Twitter, which sucks because a lot of it could be fake.
Yeah.
So you're just like,
Or it's like somebody retweeted like a CNN article, and they're like, "Here we go again," and you're like, "What is it? Here we go again.
yeah.
What? Wait a
I just
second."
get my
prime
news from
example,
Reddit.
Murder
prime
hornets?
example yesterday. So the governor announced that at 11 o'clock tonight, liquor sales have to stop.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the curfew's 11 o'clock nightly.
Yeah.
Nightly. It didn't say that in the headline. And I just read the headline. So I'm like, well, after 11 o'clock, no more alcohol. And so like I text my boss and I was like, well, I guess we're not working anymore. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I sent him the link and he's like, you didn't read all this. I was like, yeah, dude. And he's like,
It said 11 to 9.
nightly. I was like,
So you
I'll
would have
see you
been the
tomorrow.
grandma on Facebook would have been like, they're shutting down all the bars.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Enough of the left and the right.
Exactly. I was like, oh,
Oh,
God.
one more very important wrestling note. Shama peed next to Hangman Page at the urinal.
That's awesome.
Is this in Charlotte?
Yeah, no, it was in LAX, I think.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I actually, that was the only time I was like, I mean, it's the only time you could do this. I was like, hey, Hangman. And he responded. Like,
And he's like,
where else but wrestling could you?
Hangman, sir.
I was at an indie show and you know the guy, I forgot his name, but he's the scout.
Oh, Man Scout?
Man Scout.
Yeah.
I peed next to him, which is funny because he's in like a full Boy Scout uniform and he's got the mustache. And it was after his match.
Yeah.
And then we were peeing. I looked at him. Good match.
Oh, yeah. I ran into Sammy Callahan in the bathroom, too.
That's
This
awesome.
is like, hey, wrestlers we ran into
Yeah.
in the
Who
bathrooms, the
else
podcast.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy ran Jeff Hardy at the bathroom, or is that who did I know that ran into Jeff Hardy?
Oh, no, I didn't. I
Was
wish
it
I ran into
Stash?
Jeff Hardy. Maybe.
It was Stash. She's got a picture
You
with
did?
Jeff Hardy
Really?
in the bathroom. Yeah.
Stash.
The bathroom is the great equalizer.
Stash came to the peddler dressed in a like wrestling Speedo as Macho Man Randy Savage.
For Halloween
For
or
Halloween.
just oh
Yeah. They
I was
let
like,
him work the
because I mean
whole
if he
shift.
said just cuz I'd be
Really?
like
Yeah.
He was behind the bar though.
Yeah, he was
okay.
behind
I was
the
about to say
bar.
you can't be selling top dollar
He
steaks.
has to like walk around every once in a while. So
Shout out to Stash.
that was also
I don't
that
have-
was also
have
that's a
confidence
very
like
that's
that.
probably the most pre-COVID thing I've ever heard is he was a bartender in a Speedo.
yeah,
Good
You
Lord.
know, yeah. Kyle, we did stand-up comedy together.
We did.
we did a lot of.
I haven't
crappy
done
open
stand up
mics.
for a long time. It's been over a year since I did stand up.
And now you
Same,
can't do it
man.
if you wanted to, probably.
I know.
I mean,
No.
I know Comedy Zone just did their first open mic on Thursday, but you know,
Yeah, I talked to Brandon Rainwater.
How'd it go?
And he said it was pretty good. He also had a show like
love
a
Brandon.
weekend, and he said it was pretty
Yeah,
good.
then like
But-
Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen just got COVID from doing a show.
did they like give everyone COVID, or they went when they had COVID, or something?
I don't know.
I guess they picked it. Yeah, they went to
there's a
Arizona and they did a show.
video
And apparently
of,
they insisted on fist bumping everybody. And
Yeah, they called, or Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino called them and just roasted them, calling them idiots. And
two other comedians.
yeah, before it happened. And then Callen's like, I'm not wearing a mask. I do what I want. Don't infringe on my rights.
See, that's weird that we're the only country in the world that's the thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think that's the. I was talking to. We had dinner with some friends last night, and when they were just talking
I
about.
hate
Oh,
that I
you-
just coughed while we're talking about it.
yeah.
It's a-
I have to mention it because someone's watching and they're like,
Wait a second, that dude just called.
"There's a breakdown. There's a breakdown. There's a whole video of
He
like."
just called.
I had like a coughing
How
fit
Shaman
yesterday.
PD got COVID on the episode.
There's gonna be a
If
timeline.
you go back to episode 86, where Kyle coughed in PD's
It all
direction.
started. Next episode when someone's got a runny nose.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's like the. Somebody's asking me like, oh, what do you make of all this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to lose respect for people. You know.
Do you not judge? I'm
You know,
I'm
right?
100% every time I go into the store and I see, because we're all doing it. But if there's someone there's not, I'm not gonna lie. I'm always judging in my head. I'm like, this guy,
Dude,
This
I know.
guy.
But then, like, it's also like you just gotta look the part. That's what I was trying to tell.
gotta
somebody,
look
like,
the part,
You just
yeah.
gotta look the part. It doesn't matter what you
Oh,
feel.
yeah.
Just swim up. Just swim downstream with
I have
us.
a
All right.
PSA. It's a very important thing. Do
Yeah.
not use Walmart hand sanitizer. I sprayed it on my hands the first time. It smelled like rotting nursing home. That's
Oh,
my
no.
description of it. It's like
that was the set. The set.
Don't
was,
all nursing homes smell rotting?
yeah,
milk?
you're right. But
Was it like that big tub that's like super jello-y and you're
yeah,
like,
so I did it the first time. And I was like, never doing this again. So then a couple months later, I go back to Walmart and I forget, of course. And then as soon as it hits my hand, I literally went, no!
Oh, God.
it hits your hand, you're like, you're like, wait a second, acid.
I ran to the bathroom to try to wash it off with others. I
Really?
tried to wash my soap off with
Is it
soap.
because your hand?
yeah.
Because
You're
your hand
finding
just
it in
smell
Walmart, too.
bad?
It's never in
Oh,
the same
gee,
spot.
I-
Like, is it in the back of the front? Where's
I
this
know,
bathroom?
man. The Walmart smell. Yeah,
I just hope everything goes back to normal. I know you said this already, but
Dude,
Football
I-
back,
so-
man. Don't take away football.
who was
you know
that?
what's bad? I would sacrifice all the other sports though for a football season. Like, hey, you have to give up hockey, golf,
Yeah.
basketball, soccer, but you
Definitely.
can keep football. I'd be like, all right,
It-
cool.
It's,
I don't
it's
even think about it. I don't even think about
I always think it's funny, like there's so much bad news going around, right?
Yeah.
That anytime you hear something and then you say something to somebody else that they don't know and they're like, wait, really? And they're like, so I was at my son's birthday party last weekend. And
Happy birthday, your son.
Oh yeah, he just turned 1.
What?
My father-in-law, huge baseball fan. And I had a friend come in, my friend Cecil. He comes in, he's like, yeah, man. And he was like, yeah, and they just canceled baseball for the season. And my father-in-law was like, what? And he was like, yeah, did you not? So it's when I was like, one of those things where like, oh, you really have to like, you got to be real humble with information now. You're like,
you could
you're like,
ruin someone's day.
I don't know if you've heard.
I thought
would you
baseball
like to
was
take
the
a
one
seat?
sport doing it.
No, they just canceled. I don't know what
Are
they
they not
decided
doing
to
it?
do.
Oh,
They were
well,
gonna let like the top
They're like,
guys.
peanuts
I
opt
thought they were
out.
doing like 60 games or something. But I don't know. I
That would
don't.
have been weird.
I don't even know. That's the
There's
thing.
already
It was
too
like
many
a thing.
games.
Then
Baseball.
the every stat would have an asterisk next to it.
True.
Yeah.
We played a couple games.
They're like, we can't do peanuts and Cracker Jacks under these conditions, guys. We're done. We're done. Yeah, but I don't know. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, things might never go back to normal. So then I'm like, is it bad to even believe? You know, just to have like just a tiny grain
That's-
of hope.
that,
Little
like,
hope,
hurts
just
to
a
hear.
little bit of hope.
That it could never go back.
Yeah, people are like, oh yeah, this is gonna be around for forever. And I'm like, I heard you.
I heard you. Don't say it again.
I just don't. Yeah, I just
And
don't
don't
like
be
to
right.
hear it. Yeah.
Please don't be right.
Well, what
It's
if
very
all
painful.
the old people die and then we don't have to worry about it until we get old?
I hope no old person listened to this.
I love.
Listen to you here. I don't
See,
know,
if
man.
it'd be. Can you imagine if that happened though? How weird it would be.
That would be super.
There's a lot of old people.
a whole
well,
lot.
so I mean, and this is like, you know, very redundant, not profound at all, but I guess the fear that we all had in like March, you know, where it's like, oh, it's spreading everywhere.
Yeah,
and
when
it's
the stores were like.
And I remember,
nuts.
like in March, I was like
Yeah.
pacing around. I was like couldn't sleep, and I'm trying to like, I don't
Yeah.
know, and I'm on Twitter, and
We're
then
in
like
July
it got,
now.
yeah, it's July. It's gotten worse.
Yeah.
But then like the deaths
Yeah.
have been a lot, but not as much as like they've projected. As they said, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, they were thinking like the millions, and I'm like, if it was in the millions, you know, like that would have been. We know a lot of people who've had it now, but I'm like, could you imagine if your neighbor and then your other and then your cousin?
I was thinking it was going to be like people on the streets. Like we're going to walk outside and be like, oh, there's a guy got the COVID. Like he's
It was
crawling.
like the bubonic
oh,
plague.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is going to get
just
crazy.
tarps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you're just going to get the sniffles for a couple of days.
How, you know, so like,
Hopefully.
so there've been a ton of movies like Contagion and a bunch of other ones. I haven't
Yes.
seen any, but
You haven't seen any?
I haven't seen them. And I tried to watch one the other night. And my wife was like, no, let's not do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
she was like, we're living it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but still,
Let's get
like,
some
can
notes.
we maybe,
Get some
yeah,
notes.
we can see what the scientists did, and maybe we could, implement that. Do
Don't
it
be
now.
the first to go.
Yeah,
Maybe
but,
Lysol.
Inject it
dude,
into
I
you,
don't know,
maybe?
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
It's such a weird. I was talking to friends who have kids, have like kids who were in school or whatever, and like their kids don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
No,
when
kids
they're
gotta
like-
be real weird,
they're like,
weird
why
right now.
Why did nobody come to my birthday party? And you're
Dude,
like,
how sad are those drive-by birthdays?
Dude.
Let's talk about it. How sad.
Every
Super
it's
sad.
not even just the birthdays. It's like everything people tried to do, like that's like quarantine related, like a drive-by graduation, and like a Zoom. It's like every
Zoom's bad
like
too,
bandaging
though.
gunshot
I'm
wounds.
glad this isn't on Zoom.
Drive-in
That
comedy
would be
show.
rough.
How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, it looks rough, but I mean,
Honk if you laughed.
Yeah, there's just something about like there really is no replacement for like the real thing.
Yeah.
Everything else is just even like Zoom comedy shows where people like
Those are rough.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
doing like
I say my prayers to everybody who has that. Like I see people who are like, "Oh, I'm doing a Zoom comedy show tonight." I'm
don't
like,
do it.
Yeah.
"Good luck."
I think I was listening to Tom Segura.
Good
He's
luck.
Like, why would I have what people pay to watch me bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
you don't get
understand.
any feedback. You're just talking to a screen.
No. It's so. I think that's the thing too. It's just the idea of being in the room
Yeah.
and doing things together,
Yeah.
sports and filling up arenas, and I guess we all kind of took it for granted. You know, just the fact that you go to a place and you're not wearing a mask,
We're
and you
gonna
get a
be-
hot dog and you get a drink. And
We're gonna
you
be
get-
filling up arenas soon, guys.
Dude, man. See, this is the kind of hope that we
the
all
goal.
need.
Let's
right?
go. Let's bring it
We
back.
just
Let's
gotta
fi-
speak it like.
Let's just.
But then
let's
you don't
find
want
a
to sound
cure.
too
Let's find a
flippant.
cure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we both stopped
Man.
watching wrestling
are you
at
saying,
one
like,
point, right?
Let's find a cure, as in like the three of us. We just
I
stop
mean, I got a
recording and
couple
we just
hours.
run.
Let's go.
COVID got Kyle and I to stop watching wrestling for a period of time.
Man.
It was rough. The no crowd's really rough.
Because they were just kind of like, hey, let's do
Yeah,
the.
it felt like
we'll
watching
film it in a-
practice.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not.
Were
Fun.
they filming it in like what, Florida? Or like
Florida.
like
Because
a
that
Wild,
was the only
wild
place
west
that
of
would
Florida.
allow it. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Where there's no
How-
laws.
How crazy is like a lot of like more than anything the legislature that's been passed, and a lot of things were like,
Yeah.
Florida's like, "Yeah, we'll host you guys. We'll also host MMA and everything
Oh,
else.
yeah,
And I'm like, what is going on?
And they had like 10,000 new cases in a day.
Yeah.
We're all going down. Wear a mask.
Man,
Wash
but-
your hands.
So the worst part, guys. Well, this podcast is just full of bad news. Okay,
Oh,
I don't.
yeah.
There's no hope. But no, the
This
worst
is
part
the
is
only good news right here.
yeah. The
This
only good
smiling
news
face.
is
Yes.
those vegetables. But when people talk about like how it's gonna resurge in the fall, I'm like, dude, we have to have like a thing. We have to have a solution by then. Like,
Yeah.
either we're all wearing masks and gloves. Like,
I mean, I still have my $1,200. You guys, yeah,
wow.
still got it. Still got it.
I heard they're gonna do another one, but I don't.
That's
even
cool.
Know, man.
We're like, what? That was months ago. So long ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Thank God I have a lot of money. If this shirt doesn't tell you, all the money. People who can't see me
Yeah.
right now, I look
See,
fantastic.
and that's this shirt's very nice. That's
No,
another
it's
thing.
my little
too.
brother got
Dude,
me
I
this
didn't
for my
look close
birthday.
enough to.
Yeah, it's Ric Flair.
Oh yeah, and shout
wow.
out
Yeah,
to
yeah, that's Ric
Kyle's
Flair.
brother,
Mhm.
Connor. Yeah,
yeah.
it's they let me crash on their couch after the wrestling show, so I'm forever grateful.
Clean.
What was I gonna say? Oh, so another thing too that I feel like is another bad part about all this stuff is just the assumption that people make on like everybody should wear a mask, everybody should stay home, and there were a lot of people who were like working and they're like, yeah, staying home is a luxury, pal.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like paying the bills, like not worried. That is
Yeah.
a luxury that I guess a lot of people took for granted. They're like, if everybody just stopped doing everything for a while, I'm like, well,
We gotta live. We gotta pay the bills.
cannot
Unless you're
do
on
that.
unemployment. Shout out
Oh,
unemployment. Looking real nice right now. But like
Yeah.
that. See, that's the weird part too. I'm making more money not working right now than I was working. So it's just like, so does my job suck, or is the government just being like, hey,
Yeah.
thanks for working when you were working?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's man, it's very interesting.
Let's just all go to Canada, eh?
Hey,
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Want to?
Yeah. I've been a couple times and I'm like I mean,
I
they
heard
talk
it's
a little
amazingly
weird.
clean. My buddy went up
It-
there and he's like,
it's very
but then I have a buddy who's from Buffalo, New York, and he's the first person in my life that I've ever met that like hates Canadians. And I was like, I didn't even know people did that. I didn't even know
Yeah.
people did that.
The hate just kind of goes up north. Like we
Did you
don't
hear?
like
I said, hey,
North
hates
Carolinians, and then
Can-
like North Carolinians are like Virginians, and then Virginians are like I can't stand
yeah,
New
everyone's
Yorkers.
just like,
And then New Yorkers are like, if I got to see another Canadian, yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
It's
I don't,
weird.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Like I've heard, it's weird. I mean, I don't feel this way, but I've heard people been like Mexicans. Like you hear it.
Yeah.
You hear it. But I've never heard
Canadians.
Canadian, except my friend. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But he played hockey up there, so I guess it's like real blood rival with.
Yeah,
I
Canadians
don't
like cross the border and they're like, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's nuts. I always make fun of him for it.
That's the different. I've talked about this on the show already, but I'm like, there are like different when people think, oh, white people. I'm like, whoa. There's Canadian white people, European white
We got
people. There's southeastern white. It's like there's so many factions just to be like, I
Yeah.
can't stand. I'm like, what are you talking about?
There are a lot of flavors of whites.
They're
yeah.
That is true. I'm
the most flavors.
I'm
you
flavorful,
could
right?
say.
You're
Yeah.
a different flavor for sure.
Yeah.
Different. You're a traveler's rest flavor.
Kyle
Yeah.
said that. Tell him this made me laugh really hard. The
Oh,
two instances where your life changed. Do you remember? It's
Um,
about South Park was one.
Oh
And then-
yeah, dude. Yeah, yeah. South Park was one for sure.
South Park. Did they start the Kyle joke?
No, they started just the ginger hate.
Oh,
the
yeah.
world,
Yeah.
the ginger hate started. It's like the whole world watched South Park on one night, and they woke up And then, because like I grew up and everyone was like, they called me Carrot Top, and that was like that was as hard as the hit was Carrot Top, and that was it. The only person that called me Ginger was this Scottish guy, and he would call me Ginger out of love. He'd be like, "Oh, my Ginger," and I was always like, my Scottish accent's terrible," but he would say it out of love, so I always loved being called Ginger. I'm like, yeah. But then South Park happened, and then the whole world turned on me, and now they hate, and I didn't have a soul.
So wait a second. So the whole gingers have no soul. By the way, guys,
true?
Kyle is a ginger. For those of you who are listening,
Hey guys,
sorry,
sorry.
you're on audio.
Hey, for the people who watch,
that whole narrative just started by South Park.
Yep,
Were they making fun of the guy on YouTube?
I think so.
The dude on YouTube was like, "Gingers have souls." You remember that?
Yeah.
That viral video.
Where'd he go? Is there not a spokesman for gingers nowadays? Because I'll step up.
Yeah.
I'll be the one.
You'll be the
I'll be
the
the
Martin Luther King Jr. of
Just step up
gingers.
and really like, just
Yeah.
GLM, just ginger lives.
Yeah.
Yo, why is no one talking about this?
and it
And
all started here on
the real
Church Goes
enemy
Black.
is I just point at the sun.
Yeah.
What's up with him?
Yeah. That's so fun. It's so interesting how like pop culture. I don't know how much pop culture influences.
I mean, the internet also ruined my name.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah.
Thank God for Karen.
So-
Shout out to Karen for taking all the hate. I've never been so happy for
Karen took the heat off.
for
him.
Well,
Karen.
it was like Chad first, right?
Chad.
Everybody
It was
like,
Chad and Brad, and I was like, right, those idiots.
Yeah, and then they were
And
like,
they're like,
hold on.
but They showed like
Kyle.
a drywall with holes in it, like Monster Energy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I have punched a hole in a wall though. I'm not. I have done it. I've done it. Don't like Monster Energy, so it's not all.
Oh, that's so funny that you're like, I hate the stereotype. I've punched a hole in a wall.
I have. It
but I
has
don't
happened.
agree.
And true story though, right now, if you left this place right now, went to my house, hole's still there. You can still see the hole.
Really?
So it's like it's a little reminder, like, hey,
Like that was when I
you're
was
still stupid.
a
Just
little too much my stereotype.
little too much. Don't feed into the beast.
So when the Karen drama swells up, are you like slowly like, yes.
It's always so cringe. Like
Yeah.
those videos are always so cringe.
It's like the one
bad,
where
man.
the woman was telling these girls to go back to their country when they were born in the United States.
So
Did you hear the people saying that to the Indians at the
Oh,
4th
yeah.
of
Yeah,
July?
like the
and
Native
it's just
Americans.
That's ironic.
And
Yeah.
they're like,
man.
see the
White people, shut up.
from one white flavor of white guy to another.
Step back.
Yeah, it's one of the same thing where people will get off our land, and then like a Native American will also pick it, and they're like, no, you get off our
Yeah.
land. And so it's kind of like, okay, one of you guys is wrong, so we either need to
chill out.
like squat. We all need to shut up, right?
Chill out.
Or we gotta like just try to learn to get along.
Togetherness. That's what we need.
But the thing,
Bring
I
it
think,
together.
yeah, I was talking to some friends, and they were just talking about like how crazy and divided everything happening. I'm like, but it's just they're just dumb people.
A
Like,
lot of
any kind of person who would look at somebody like there was a guy like a tech CEO who was talking to like other people at a restaurant. He's like, "Go back to your country. Why don't you
Saw
do-"
that.
And I'm like, dude, yeah, you own a company. You're in a position of power.
Or
you've
they
been
do it
to
at that
restaurants,
restaurant,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you? Why is that? How? Who hurt you? Who
I
hurt
don't
you
know.
for you to be like,
People suck.
you're
and-
mean? hey, listen here. Why don't you go back? And you're like, come
Did
on,
you know that's
dude.
how Pete Holmes deals with hecklers? He talked
Really?
about it on his podcast. He asks them how their day went and like
Come on, what happened?
what happened to them.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
What's really
He
good?
says it's always something.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Every
It's
time.
like, well, I got
Yeah.
fired, but that's not why we're here.
Yeah.
It's exactly why we're here. That's why we're here.
I think, I mean, more than anything, when, friends tell me just like the hatred and the division and everything else. I'm
And
like,
everyone's got a
dude,
camera too, so
Yeah,
it's,
we gotta.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm like, why would you ever risk, if you're in a store and they're like, hey, man, you need a mask to be in here. Why is your first thought like, well, what if I throw everything on the floor?
Yeah, 'cause
Huh?
you haven't
what
seen
if I
that video.
yell?
You know what I'm saying?
What if
It's
I
like-
yell about the government and like conspiracies? It's
Getting
like
canceled
that's
would
never,
suck. Getting
that doesn't,
canceled would
dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
It's bound to happen to one of us.
No.
No. It'll be Kyle.
Kyle's
Twitter.
like, it's me.
It's
It's
Twitter.
me.
It'll be a tweet from
I'm a ginger.
14
I've got like it's gotta happen,
2014 tweet. Something.
dude. That's the man. Yeah.
That's why if I make
you
it,
wanna-
hey, I said it here. I'm sorry. Whatever it is. I'm sorry. I didn't.
I didn't
I
think
was
you-
16.
We're guys, whatever. So when
Pre-apology.
it happens, when whatever thing happens, in
Whenever
the
it
future,
happens, just go back to
guys,
this clip.
we have
and
a clip of Kyle in July of 2020.
This is evidence.
I was drunk when I tweeted that. Asians.
So
No, I'm
forgive him. Yeah. But yeah, it is a thing where you're like, what rock do you live under?
Yeah.
For you to get up and be like, hey, this is, what if I say how I really feel?
But
Huh?
maybe,
You're like, what?
maybe it just seems bad because we're taking in all of the like outrageous
At once,
incidents
yeah.
from everywhere.
It was like a
We're
compilation.
getting too much information of bad stuff.
So we get the world's crazies. When if it was just our crazies, maybe we'd feel better. But no, we probably still wouldn't.
But yeah, and that's another thing too. So it's like the factions of people who just read this kind of news and people who read that kind of news, and then viral news which goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh man, Karens are crazy. We're like, it's just been in our face a lot, right? But protests are still out, and there's still a lot of there's just so many things to like.
Would you like to weigh in on the
On the
chocolate
protest?
milk?
Oh.
No, not the protest.
Oh.
The chocolate milk bread incident. I wasn't gonna make you weigh in.
Does he
on
know
this.
about this?
You told me a little bit about it.
I guess I'm canceled because we've squashed the beef, but we had to
Shama,
create fake.
what are your thoughts on this statement? Shama, as a snack, dipped white bread into chocolate milk and then ate it.
Maybe that's what our economy needs right now. Just a little bit of
Maybe that's what we
the
all
white bread
need right
dipped
now.
with the.
Well, we've had. I mean, can I get
That
a
would
little,
make
just
a racist furious.
be like, what? I can't believe it.
Brain would explode.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And when you talk about like things getting back to normal, I'm like, yeah, for all our sakes. And I'm not even saying like I've had white people message me and be like, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry,
how's that
brother."
been? How's that
Yeah,
been?
like,
Let's
"Yeah,
talk
I'm
about
so
that.
sorry, brother.
How many white? Can we go
I'm
through
listening,
your DMs right
dude.
now?
It's not good. Yeah, it's like, dude,
Can you
I can't
show me? I
imagine
won't say
what
his name. Can I see it?
dude. I don't even, but it's just like I can't imagine what you're going through. And I'm like, nah, dude. I had a good brunch. Like I'm cool. I'm watching good movies. I'm at home.
Just
Like
slide
we're
in,
paying
like,
bills.
yo, I voted for Obama.
Yeah.
Or
I voted
it's-
Obama. I would have voted for a third term if I
Yeah,
could.
I could.
Or it's white people who are like trying to guilt Shama or something, being like, "You need to post about this every day." on your-"
Yeah. Or somebody did that, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, do I?
No,
Like,
you don't. You don't.
There's a lot of
You don't.
There's a lot of it already. I'm like,
I mean, get a post about it, okay, but like your whole feed,
yeah.
your whole feed.
Dude,
I get it.
Thank you, man.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your whole come on, just
Well, so that's like the I don't know if I've said it on here before, but the other day I was like, I was gonna post it on Facebook, but I was like, I hope the most interesting thing about me isn't that I'm black. Which
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
the whole thing now. It's like black skin and black power and black melanin and black excellence, and I'm like, well,
If I was black though, I would be that guy though. I would have an African medallion like so big.
you'd be like, good morning, king.
Or you
What's
could just
up?
Nancy
You'd
Pelosi it
you'd
and
call
do it
What's up,
now.
all women.
king?
You'd
My-
call
my
all women
queen.
queens.
Man,
I'm wearing
My Nubian
dashikis.
princess, what's up?
God bless you, my brother. Yeah, God
I say
bless
my brother
brothers.
just because of Hulk Hogan. And
Yeah,
stick
I
by
say
that.
brother all the
I call
time.
people brother, but it's strictly. But
Yeah.
even black people don't even like him anymore.
But
Yeah,
never
yeah.
my I just end a sentence with brother.
Yeah.
You do or don't?
I always do. End it with brother. Yeah. Be like, see you later, brother.
Yeah, it's like yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
it just works.
Makes you
I
feel
mean,
good.
hopefully, man. Hopefully, eventually.
Well, okay, so the name of this podcast was Church Stories.
Church
Yes.
stories, yeah.
Well, you did the segue before we did.
Yeah, I know. Because I was thinking,
You pulled a host on
I was
us.
like, hey, church stories.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah,
Like
was the, church
stories that happen in church.
in
Or
church,
just related to-
related
Wait,
to
so what-
church.
See, I'm not not actively Catholic, I guess,
But you were.
but I was shamed up my whole life.
We'd love to hear
I have
that.
that. I have that nice Catholic guilt that they beat into you for your entire.
That's
existence.
that is very.
true.
Yeah, that's very true. Like I've heard,
What are you? Or what
I-
don't know
I'm
if you're
non-denominational now,
Non-denominational.
but
That's
I grew up
that's probably
Pentecostal.
Probably the way to go. Because
Yeah,
it's
I
very
let you wear
like
skinny jeans. I think
oh, he's allowed to wear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're
the same. I don't like
Same?
to claim like a group
don't
of.
rep
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. And
What-
you were homeschooled. Were you homeschooled?
We're both homeschooled. Yeah. Both homeschooled.
You guys are made for each other.
I'm really curious about
Very
altar
weird.
boy Kyle.
Man, no fun stories.
No fun stories.
But
Yeah.
so altar boy stuff was funny because it was like a nice little hustle because like people get married and stuff and you get paid for like
Wait a
those
second.
ceremonies.
Really?
Oh yeah, not like church. Sunday church, no.
Yeah.
but like confirmations and communions and weddings and stuff. Oh yeah.
You got paid?
It's some money.
How much?
Yeah, because I mean, 20, 25, maybe $30. And like in Jersey, it was like in the town I lived in, you were either Italian, you were Irish, or you were Mexican. So every like celebration did was just like humongous. So the money was good, which is fun because you're like 12.
You just made $25.
$25.
I do what I do every Sunday,
man.
but now
Yeah.
I got paid.
Yeah, we went to church a lot and we had like class and all that. But as soon as we moved down to South Carolina and like went to public school, I was just like, all right with that. Because like in order to keep practicing being Catholic, you had to like, I had to do my confirmation and stuff. So I had to go to CCD and all that. And I don't know, the time we moved down here is when like all the like priests were getting popped for like, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a big like, and I know priests. Like we have very close friends, family friends are priests. They're all great people. Nothing ever happened, which is great. But it's just like, man, that's such a bad look that I'm like, maybe I don't want to practice the whole Catholic thing. So,
Dude, there's
it's hard to get behind.
I remember I was talking to my mom. There's a movie called Spotlight.
Yep.
And it happened like in Massachusetts or whatever. And I remember I was telling my mom grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
She wanted to be a nun.
Yeah, my little brother wanted to be a priest for some time.
Well, it was like I guess, they herald that calling as like so she thought, in order to be the best Christian and the best Catholic, I need to serve God to the fullest. And I remember telling mom, I just watched Spotlight. I was telling my mom about it. She was like, my mom grew up in Tanzania, where we're from. And she was like, oh yeah, that happened all the time in Tanzania. She grew up in the village. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, it would happen all the time. Yeah, they'd shuffle priests around the country.
If they get caught
And
in
I'm
one
like,
church, they
what
just
are
ship
you?
them to another
What
state.
are you talking? Like,
Yeah, it's
there's just a movie
insane.
about it, and my mom is like, she's like, yeah, it's been. We all knew it. Priests would, they'd get girls pregnant, and I'm like, what are you? So it's just one of those things to where I'm like, it's not even like an open. It's the most open secret.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nuts. It's
yeah.
very nuts, and especially since like
It was like Catholic is like now almost like synonymous with
Yeah.
moral failures.
I would hate to be a priest right now.
Yeah.
Just because it's just like what a crappy. Even if you're
Well,
like
it comes like
great, like I said,
defending-
all the good people I knew were priests.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the so we moved.
Yeah.
Right. After we moved a couple years later, one of the priests that was in the church that we went to got busted for. stuff. It's just like,
man.
oh, I was lucky, and I
So,
was.
another thing too is like I remember PD, you were telling we were trying to search stories like news stories.
Yeah, I just like stories of pastors being like
And he
dumb or
Googled
something to like
youth
bring up
pastor
here.
arrested, and he said like Google just kind of like
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
phone book.
all like horrible.
yeah.
Nothing I
So-
could read. And
but the
have
thing
fun
is-
on
I
the
mean, it
show.
makes sense. I mean, if you were the guy, I mean,
But the thing is, like
Yeah.
the
the route, I guess.
youth pastors and specifically like the culture that I grew up in, like the Christian culture. Yeah, I don't know how to get into this, but even the church that
This
we
is
were-
why religion
No, so-
conversations
so-
are always the worst.
so I knew of things that happened in a church that I attended at one point in time that the pastor like specifically like squashed
Yeah.
to make sure that it didn't leave.
Like,
you
hey,
know. And
don't talk about what happened in this room.
dude, and so we were talking. I was talking to you about it.
I think so.
Yeah, because we knew about it. And it was one of those things that later, where I watch a documentary and I'm like, who would let this happen? How would people not report it? And then like I remember thinking like, wait a second, me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like me, I knew of.
You mean the group
something.
sleepovers weren't weird?
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah, just whatever kind of community we were in. I'm like, yeah, whatever happened, we knew. I knew that something not good was happening.
Yeah.
And the leadership was like, we're going to take care of it, and they did or didn't. And it just kind of disappeared, and now everybody's cool, and this person's still serving, and this person's still doing this, and I'm like, But then again, I'm like, did somebody need to go to jail? That's what I'm thinking of, right? But I'm like, what is
Heavy.
it is right,
Yeah.
right?
Heavy.
Because like you don't, if you're in a leader of a church or I don't know, like a company, if something happens, you don't want to be the person to be like, in our company, a guy that worked here for over 17 years did this, because you don't want to be that person. You can't be too excited to announce, moral failings or any kind of mistake, but you also can't be too quiet.
Yeah, but if you don't say anything, it's super awkward. It's like then everybody is walking around with a secret.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, what is the right? What are you supposed to do as whoever, right?
I mean, I'm very. My hands are up when it comes to religion. I'm very like, like, is there a heaven? I don't know. Hopefully, that'd be cool. If there is, awesome. If there is, let's go. Yeah. If there's a hell, that would suck too. Going there would suck. I mean, you hope you kind of want there to be a hell because you want like Hitler to be there and stuff. Like, But like, if someone told me like, or if someone was like, hey, it's kind of like when you're sleeping. When you sleep and you just sleep and then you wake up. Yeah. Death is that part where you're not alive or awake or sleep. So like, if it's like that, I mean, I guess that sucks. Yeah. I don't want it to be that way. But if it is that way, then I wouldn't be like, that's crazy. I'd be like, well, I guess it makes sense.
Do you think like you're like what
a good person?
No. I'm saying like, did your parents are they still Catholics?
They were Catholics. My mom was super into. She was super into church too. So that was the whole thing too. That's why it's all weird.
When
stuff.
When y'all moved down here, y'all just kind of like.
So my grandma was really into it. So my parents died when I was young. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, okay.
So that happened.
Sorry, I did not
no,
know
it's okay. I was young. So that's why like with the whole, like when you watch Spotlight.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's listening to this. Watch Spotlight. Watch it if you want. It's a very heavy movie.
Yeah, it's very
about
heavy.
the whole priest thing in Boston. Boston Globe kind of like uncovered all the stuff.
The story.
But you see all the victims and stuff. They're from like families with like broken homes and stuff. And so like when I look at my story with my parents, since my parents died when I was like 6, like I was like ideal broken home. Yeah. So I'm just like. Shout out to none of the priests moving on me. Religion, the whole thing's weird. It's all just faith. Like some people, like they read the Bible. Like I know I've read parts of the Bible. I haven't sat down and read the whole thing. Here it's a banger though. Here's a banger.
Yeah. The beginning part gets kind of weird.
New York Times bestseller.
And people, just the people that take it to like fact, they're like 100% Noah got every animal, 2 of each kind on his ark, no problem. And it's just like. Maybe not. Scientifically, probably not. But so, it's a guide. I think the Bible is a nice little book of stories to make you live a better life. You know what I'm saying?
So
just be a good person.
That's one thing that I will say is, and my father-in-law is he's got a PhD in theology, so he's very studied. But he does, and I've heard a lot of people say like, hey, like the Bible is not a book on like facts and history. And like rules. Yeah. So that's why when people go to the Bible and they're like, I'm going to tell you everything there was about Noah. And I'm like, well, what you know is what I know. Yeah. And that's the story. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Just be it didn't say how the animals came or whatever. So it's like when and that is almost like a side quest. It is like chasing rabbits for people to be like, I'm doing a story about how Noah coincides with life and everything else. There are things to be taken from it.
Someone made a life-size like museum, ark.
Yeah.
I don't know where it was.
I heard it's really cool. It's like to scale.
I would check it out. I would check it out.
I'd
be like, wow.
It would be really cool. But I think when people, it is the weeds. That's what I will say. And a lot of like Christianity and Bible understanding is very spoiled and ruined. Not spoiled, not like it's like a secret, but it is ruined by people just kind of like, like, well, this, and this is what that means. Like I was talking to some friends yesterday who are an interracial couple, like my wife and I, and they were like, they went to a church. They went to a church and they were in Sunday school, like a Christian church, in Sunday school with, a bunch of people where the pastor was speaking, and the pastor was talking about interracial marriages. And he was like, yeah, and Moses, it's people think that Moses in the Bible, his wife was from Egypt, so she was dark. And he was explaining, how just talking about that in Sunday school. And a lady in the Sunday school, an older lady, was like, an older lady in the same Sunday school as this friend of ours, who's a black guy from Africa, married to a white woman. The old lady like raised her hand and was like, wow, I thought interracial marriage was sinful till today. And you know,
today.
and like, you know, it's one of those things where you look, where you look at the person and you're looking ahead and you're like, you really just kind of picked up that book and were like, I got it. I know it's right. I know it's wrong. That's wrong. And you're moving on. So it's like, it was weird because, you know, it's like 2019 when this happened. And they're like, you know, they're married and they have a baby. And there's a person who was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm like, what were you doing? What do you do?
God,
Where were you?
You just it's like, people are the worst.
But
Especially when it comes to stuff like that.
yeah.
One thing that's very fun is that Christians will like look at other forms of entertainment and just slap Christian in front of it. I went to a Christian wrestling show.
How was that?
Dude, did you?
Yes.
Did
I don't
you?
think I've ever talked about this on the show.
It was so bad that you've never talked about it.
Yeah, it was in a high school.
Were there characters based off of people in the Bible?
No, it was just
'cause
like
that
random
would've been
indie
cool.
wrestlers, and then
It was
Lex
like
Luger.
smashing
Punches
Samson.
Pilate's the heel for
It was,
sure.
it's like two actual legends. It was Lex Luger and Nikita Koloff. Who?
Was this in Greenville?
Yeah, it was.
I think he's real religious now, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and there
that's
was just
so
a bunch
funny.
of matches, and then it ended with an altar call. I was like, this is the strangest pro wrestling show I've
It
ever
ended with
seen.
what?
It ended with like he asked people to come into the ring and pray with him. Which I should have gone in the ring and
Surprise
just
suplex.
taken a bump by like just flat back bump on the thing.
Get you
but-
the torture
Hey,
rack.
man, what
Oh my
a- I
God.
mean, like, honestly, though, if you were to run a real wrestling show, like you say, oh, it's a Christian wrestling show, and then like everybody come down to the ring for prayer, and then somebody comes down, and then another match breaks out, you know, that'd be like a really cool, like a really cool gag to be like, hey, does anybody need prayer? You, sir, come over here. And they're like, me, what?
I mean, I want to see it. I want to see a Ultra Boy tag team.
Yeah.
Luchadors for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There have definitely been like religious gimmicks in pro wrestling, like CM Punk doing the straight edge society thing. He
Yep.
was CM Punk did this character where he would watch televangelists and then he would just go like be the pro wrestling villain version.
Dude,
of
those
that.
people are insane.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
televangelists.
Hey, but you
Yeah.
can't, when you say televangelist, I think of one who's Kenneth Copeland, and you can't say his name without saying that Kenneth Copeland is worth $700 million.
That was the next thing I was going to say. They make insane amount of money.
Kenneth Copeland
They don't pay
is
taxes
worth
either.
I know. Dude, can you imagine what $700 million is? That's
How do
a
you
ton of
start one of
money.
these? But you just have to be so. You don't even want to start because you
charisma.
just got to be so scummy.
Yeah. It's
See
like
them,
step
like-
one is like
Yeah.
just be
Just be-
scummy.
Are you willing to sell your soul and life and just sell people's hope for money?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to have? Oh, it's
The funniest thing is that tell him about his hair.
My hair?
His statement.
No.
my handsome hair.
Kenneth
We all have good
Copeland's
hair in this room. Hold on, now on the subject of hair.
Oh, okay.
Got good hair in this room.
Yeah,
solid
good,
hair.
Good hair, guys.
Good
Thank you,
head and
thank you.
shoulders sponsor.
Yeah.
People who are watching this, what a treat!
good
because,
hair.
man.
Good hair. I thought my wife my wife thought I was like thinning up top, and I was like, I better not. And I checked, and I'm like, no, I'm
No,
good.
you were thick.
no offense to anybody who's well, you know, a little thin up top.
Yeah, this is a head and shoulders
but
commercial.
it's a head and
for
shoulders.
sure.
This is a welcome back to the hair podcast.
Yeah, guys, we're feeling good. in here.
Tell him what Kenneth Copeland said about his hair
Oh, what did he say? Oh, he said,
on his website about the color of it.
oh yeah, he was like my hair is not. I don't use hair coloring. My hair is naturally dark
Is it
every
jet black?
day. Yeah, it's jet black. And he's like every day I look in the mirror
He's
and
like
I
70 something.
command. What did he say? I command
Yeah.
dark hair grow,
Yeah.
gray hair go, or something.
Wow, he's
Yeah.
got a rhyme.
Dude,
Yeah.
is it something like that?
Sold.
Man, think about that.
How much do I gotta pay a month for this guy?
This is like on his website. This is like on the about me of like the website. We're like, hey, get to know Kenneth Copeland. On like the paragraph is like, also, this dark hair, on me, baby.
It's make
On
sure though
me,
it's the
baby.
last thing in the paragraph. Is like, I know you're wondering, but hair's natural. Anyway,
Hair's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta see a picture of this guy now.
Well,
For sure.
man, you know, do you know people like PDs in the church that you have? Do you know people in the South? I feel like
Do I know people in the South?
like
A
people in
few.
the South. People in the South are like, it's so funny because I remember like I worked for a church, and I remember I would tell people, be like, oh, what did you do? Like, oh, I just worked for a church, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I did too. And I'm like, what? So it's like I've met so many people, waiters,
Yeah.
hostesses, freaking
Yeah.
bartenders. Like, I was a pastor at one point. I'm like, is this just everybody? Is this like especially
Yeah.
just like in the
Oh,
Southeast?
yeah, like it was a few months after being friends with Stash, they just dropped. Oh yeah, I was a youth leader.
He was. There was a time when he was. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
So nuts.
Was this back when he was Ryan, or was he Stashed?
He was
the youth
Ryan
leader?
then. Him and
Wow.
Zane were youth leaders.
Zane, your brother?
No, I don't. Zane's not my brother.
Oh, I forget, man. Zane's not your brother.
Zane's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
my brother.
Zane Mitchell.
Yeah.
My
but-
favorite. The only thing is Zane was also a local comedian and a showrunner. He's a comedian. I use that term loosely, but
I use that term too loosely. Yeah. I've been saying it over a year.
He's
I
one of
don't
those-
even know if I don't even consider myself a comedian.
dude, we did a Christmas show.
We did lots of shows.
We did a Christmas
been
show.
so
You
long
and
since
I.
I've
It was
done a
like
show.
this really.
It was a corporate gig.
It was a corporate gig.
Killed it.
And Zane paid us.
We got
We
money.
paid
How did
pretty
he
well.
land that?
I don't know. It was like in some like tall building downtown.
He's got the gift of gab more than anyone.
Oh
I've ever
yeah,
met.
he's one of those dudes. He'd sell water to
He'll
a
go
well.
into a room
yeah.
and he'll be like, "I'm gonna leave here with 5 business cards," and in the night he'd leave with 10. You're just like, "What?" Like,
Man.
He was always. The only thing I said about Zane, I always said, doesn't have a job, always working. And I don't even know what that
he
means.
might be working right now. Who knows?
He's probably working right now,
Never
just
know.
working people.
I remember Zane pulling me aside and giving me like a 5-minute pitch to bark for one of his open mics.
Yeah.
It's something that no one
You know,
does.
in South
that people
Carolina,
need to do.
in South Carolina, barking to get on one of
I
his
did
shows.
not accept.
Yeah.
I think more shows should do that though,
Yeah, maybe.
especially in downtown.
Yeah,
I would
some
have.
they do that.
I would have someone outside. But it's just giving away tickets.
Are you done with comedy?
I don't know. It got so weird because I worked a lot, and then anxiety going on stage was real bad, like
Yeah.
awful. And then a lot of people were getting canceled for stuff, and I was like, "Holy crap, that could happen. That would suck."
Like local or like
no, just like in general.
but you're like it's gonna happen here.
It could happen. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. You could be the next Karen.
Like comedy was like very very time consuming. Like local comedy is so time consuming.
I did like doing stand up though.
Yeah.
I do miss doing stand up.
Like, yeah.
Well, did you like? I mean, like did you like hanging out?
I
like
liked
the, like
everything
the lull?
about stand up except before going on.
Yeah.
Was the worst
Yeah.
ever.
Pit in your stomach.
Being on stage was
Fun.
the best
Yeah,
ever.
It's
Though.
amazing.
Yeah.
So,
And then it
yeah.
always went by so fast. It
And then
went
you
by
hear
really fast
people-
or really slow.
And then you hear people who are in the business for like life, and they're like, "Yeah, that doesn't go away." And then I was just like,
Yeah.
but then they say when that doesn't go away, you should stop doing it because then you're not like,
Right.
because you should be scared when you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because stand up is
That's a very
terrifying.
interesting.
It is.
Well,
very
I guess
much
it's
so,
one of those
yeah.
things where it's like, you never. There is no finish line.
No.
Right? There's only a lot of checkpoints.
yeah,
So imagine where you're like, you just talk, right? You're really good at talking,
yeah.
and people like hearing you talk. And you're like, hey guys, I'm gonna be in Charlotte, and
Come
then
hear me talk?
Virginia, and
Yeah.
then I'll be at New York, and I'll be at a theater that seats 5,000 people at every place, and
Yeah,
I'll
then
be
you're like,
talking,
wow.
You have to
but
be
just
so-
me talking, and
But
then like
doing
you're like,
local
what?
stuff too, you know people and you see people, and then like it sucks, but it's also funny, and I really can't say anything. But some of the most driven people are like the worst, and you're just like, oh man, like,
Dude, yeah, the dichotomy, man.
ones
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
the
feel bad
most.
because like they still do it and stuff, and I'm just like,
Those are the dudes who like show up to like run a 5 minutes, and they're like they got a notebook, and they're in the
yeah.
corner like
I respect them so much because like they'll drive to Asheville or whatever
they'll
to
do a
do
sh-
their
they'll
5
stand-up,
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we used to do that. I used to
Yeah.
do. I mean, when's the last time you did stand up?
It's been a while.
Same.
You guys
I
got
don't-
started doing sketches and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the only where we're like, well,
Which are
we could
awesome.
Really do.
You guys,
Thank you.
really, your guys' stuff's really cool.
It's one of those things where we're
Big
like,
fan.
do we want to, if we're gonna both hang out for like 2 hours to do 5-minute sets, that maybe we might film and put up. Then we're like, we could meet up,
And
get dinner
have all
or like
day.
write or do something,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to just like the return on investment of comedy.
What I started
'Cause- yeah.
doing is like I was only doing comedy if we had a show booked and I needed to like get
Get
ready.
ready for it?
So
No,
I just hit the open mics.
the fire kind of burned out a little bit, but like I still think about it. Like
Yeah.
I'll still
Yeah.
get this weird anxiety on like Mondays and Thursdays because I'm like, there's like, well, not so much anymore
You're like,
because it's a
"Oh, yeah,
pandemic.
I could go right now.
I'm like right now if I leave my house right
Or
now.
I
I can tell
walk into
joke, I can
Coffee
talk to
Underground
strangers.
Yeah.
and I just associate the smell of Coffee Underground with
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
And doing shows, another thing. What I one of the reasons
You
why
did a
I
ton of
stopped
shows,
doing
right?
is
You did, like, a
I
ton
did
of
I did do a
showcases.
good bit of shows. It's just doing the shows where it's like 3 people and you have to do it.
Demoralizing.
It's the worst. That's some of the reason why I stopped going to the open mics because like I was just like sometimes like it's great like when Coffee Underground is full.
It's amazing.
Go
much
ahead,
fun, yeah.
find a better
Yeah.
room
Yeah.
that just.
It's like,
'cause
it's
it's
like
so
falling off a cliff and,
Yeah.
and,
It's
and
the
growing
best.
wings on the way.
Yes,
yeah.
but then when there's no one there, you're just like in the comedy zone when there's no one there, like an open mic when there's like 6 people there, you're just like
It's demoralizing.
this is.
Yeah.
And then they started doing a lot of competitions, which I hate.
I hate those so much.
Yeah, it was like basically a pyramid scheme where like everybody put in $10.
And $10 for you shouldn't have to pay for an open mic.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because no one.
Oh, fun fact.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
A comedian told me that a comedian who used to run one of those show nights at the Comedy Zone, he was pocketing all of the door and a lot of that money.
Mm-hmm.
You know him too. You know
I
the
do
guy.
know him.
You do know him.
I know him.
You know him too.
How big's his beard?
Longer than mine.
It's long.
Longer than
Yeah.
mine now.
Some so that part to me, really, ambition is one thing. There was a lot of people. There was a lot of ambition. It's way too much ego. It's just on a local level, and then there was just there wasn't any desire to better the community, as much as it was come do this, come do that. You want to be on a show? It's in Anderson. It's a pizza place. Come, you know what I mean?
It's like the shows weren't run well. The ones that we put on.
Yeah.
I thought the ones that we put on.
Dude,
were
that
great.
Anderson Pizza Place show was so much fun, though. I'm going to tell you.
Mellow- What was it called?
No,
Mellow
no,
Mushroom.
Tuesday.
Oh, the Mellow Mushroom
It was
good.
Mellow Mushroom, yeah.
The one in Clemson was nuts because it was at this new pizza
I never
place.
played there before.
And the speaker system was their speaker system. It wasn't like an amp or anything. And
Yeah.
the speaker system went around the entire restaurant, kitchen and bathroom.
Yeah.
So
that's
so the
fun.
crowd sucked. So I was just playing to the
Yeah.
kitchen, which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, you guys?
How
in
you
there?
doing?
Oh man, it was rough, but it was fun. I mean, I do miss it. I do miss stand up. So if you guys want to get back into it, let's
Hey,
go.
dude, legit.
We just need a. Oh, excuse me.
The-
Whoa. Sorry.
We'll get it
Sorry.
over
I got amped up. I got amped up.
Yeah.
We just need to get a good squad support system to get it
I
done.
mean, I think that's more than anything. We've talked about it. We're like, hey, I'm down. I love comedy.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do it. But
we were
let's-
all decent though. You were
Yeah.
the prodigy. I
Yeah.
remember you were
Yeah.
so young when I
That's
met
so
you.
funny.
And
was
I
just
remember one time I bombed, and then you went up after, and you're like, "Y'all gave that girl a hard time."
like, yeah. You need to.
I feel like the best jokes. I feel like the best local open mic jokes were the ones that people cracked on each other.
After. The
You know what I
best.
mean?
That's
Yeah.
why
It
the
was
roasts were so much fun.
Yeah, like
So
I got
funny.
off stage one time, and Andrew Van played over the speakers. Dude looks like a lady.
He's funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. But yeah, comedy's.
I mean, more
comedy's
than
good.
anything,
I do like
we've
And
that.
then
talked
there's
about-
local comedy beef.
Yeah. Well,
It's
people
so
were like, I can't
stupid.
stand him. Or like people
Yeah.
would freaking rail each other on Facebook stuff, and I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
literally, the barrier of entry is low,
I've started.
and there's
Yes.
nothing
if
going
I see
on.
that stuff, I'll be like, on this episode of Comedy Beef.
Yeah,
And I
that's
saw that
bad.
Hartman liked
Local
it. And I was like,
comedy.
okay, good. Somebody saw that and liked it.
Yeah.
Bro, he's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. They're the group of people around. Then there was that kid who would play guitar and sing. I don't remember that. What's his name again?
Brandon Simpson.
Branton,
Simpson.
oh,
Yeah,
following
yeah,
him
yeah,
was
yeah.
always.
He
He was
was
so funny.
something else.
Whenever-
That kid right there, I'm like, hey, he's either gonna be a
He's my
serial
favorite
killer,
future serial killer.
serial
yeah.
killer. He's gonna get like a Comedy Central show.
He
His
also
sets were
destroyed,
never. They were
though.
either like he would destroy or
Yeah.
he would eat it, and there was
Yeah.
no middle.
Yeah.
But
Watching
watching him,
him, it was like you just had to address, be like, go up and be like,
Because he'd never address it. He'd be like, you ever knew when you eat a rabbit and your mom's like, Happy Thanksgiving?
or like, hey,
You ever hear him break, like him laugh?
Yeah.
himself?
You're like you know how ridiculous
like-
you are. Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
my
you idiot.
grandma's a cockroach. Like you'll say, like, that's him.
And I was like, that's his
It was
opener.
Andy Kaufman
That's his
like.
opener.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like,
Kaufman-like.
Whenever I would follow you, I would always be like, all right, the energy's up here. Let's bring it down.
I just yell.
Seamer.
Yeah.
You used to wear those glasses too.
Yeah, I did for a little bit.
It helped. You turn into Julian from Big Daddy. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
invisible with these on.
Yeah. I love stand up though. PD and I've talked about like running a show, like
That'd
doing
be
like an
cool.
open mic. But then we're like, man, it's weekly.
It's so much
weekly?
work.
Yeah,
So
no,
much.
I wouldn't want to.
You ran a couple shows, did you?
Tried, attempted. It was always a hassle. That's when my comedy hustle was way stronger when I was hanging out with Zane more because
Yeah.
he's like just like always after it.
Yeah.
But then like
Oh, yeah, dude.
life happened and then like we were making different life choices and so we kind of went separate ways. But but I do miss it. I'm saying we should whenever we're not supposed to have masks on. I mean we can go in, say some jokes, do some funny stuff.
Yeah, I
We'll
think that'd be a lot of
Link
fun.
up. This has been a great episode, man.
I had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Learned about Veggie Tales. We
Yeah.
talked about my great growing up Ultra Boy.
Yeah.
Fun
And
stuff.
we're gonna have to watch wrestling again.
Watch
sometime
wrestling.
soon.
Talk
It's
a little
been-
wrestling.
We haven't
little-
been able to watch wrestling in like How many months? It's been crazy.
It's been super unfortunate. but-
Sorry, it's so hot in here. Our AC is like not crapping out on
See,
us.
I didn't know if it was hot in here or I was just fat
Dude,
in here.
no, it is very toasty.
I think after like the 5th time I told my girlfriend, I was like, I'm going to Kyle's to watch wrestling. She's like, is that all y'all do together?
Pretty much. Because you fill me in on Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I got a shirt for you, by the way.
Really?
I have a shirt for you, yeah. I got one of those Pro Wrestling Tees does like the botched shirts that are like $5.
Really?
And they sent me one, and it's Golden Lovers one, and it says Golden Lovers, and it says Golden, then Lovers is upside down, but then it's got like the symbol, and it says like Kabushi and or whoever was in it.
Yeah, Bushi and Omega.
Omega, yeah. I was like, I'm giving this to Petey for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I don't know if it'll fit you, but it's
Hey, I'll take it.
got to make it a muscle shirt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or a
man.
crop top.
PD needs it.
Bring it back.
PD's always in the need of muscle shirts and.
Oh, yeah, I'm
crop
ripped.
I need
Hey,
to
we
work
always
out.
end the show with praise reports.
Just like something you're excited about
Something you're
or
excited
happy
about, man.
that happened to you.
It's
or,
a super church term.
Okay, praise reports. Me and my girl Kaylin, shout out Kaylin. We are in the process of looking for a house.
Yeah.
So, my prayer warriors out there, is that even a word? It is right now. Put our hands together. Put our hands together, and we're gonna say a little prayer for the house. Come on, low interest rate, good neighborhood. Hopefully,
Lord.
gonna go up in value.
Prayer
Yeah.
warrior is a term.
Is it?
It
Yeah,
is a
that's
term.
spot on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you. Yeah, it is. It is.
Ooh, I'm gonna trademark that for sure. Prayer warrior.
That's so funny. You said
Thoughts?
my prayer warriors out there.
T's and P's, guys. Come on, give them to me. We need it. We need it. That's what.
Oh man, dude. Where y'all trying? Are y'all trying to live in Simpsonville or just anywhere?
Anywhere
yeah.
in the Greenville area, Spartanburg will work too.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't make it too inconvenient for me if I want to watch AEW.
No, yeah. We gotta. It's
Yeah.
gotta be someplace where we can drive to or meet up to watch wrestling for sure. But someplace where I want. I don't know. I want a 5 to 7 year, maybe less, 3 to 5 year. It's not a forever home. It's gonna be a couple year home.
Yeah, same.
Flip it, sell it,
Yeah.
something nicer.
Are you handy?
No, I'm not. So that should be fun. That should be the fun part. She's actually the handy one, which is hilarious because
Yeah.
she's like so small. She's so tiny. So.
Like tearing up walls and putting in.
She's super destructive,
sinks
so she's going to be breaking stuff. So it should be fun. I got high hopes. So that's my high hopes. Anything else coming up?
Guys, all the prayer warriors.
Prayer wars?
Guys, prayer warriors. He said, prayer warriors. Put your hands together and pray for your boy.
We need it. We need it. We need it. We need it.
What's my praise report? What's your praise report, PD?
My praise report. You go. I didn't think of anything.
Man, my praise report is what is it? Podcasts have been great recently. I feel like we've had a ton of guests on. Glad
The video
Zane's
element's
here.
sweet.
Yeah, do you like this, man? We got
Super
a camera there. We got camera there. Camera there. Camera there. Camera there.
I feel so. It's none of this is mine, but I feel official. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm like, man, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm not. You just like, hey, do you want to come over? Like I do.
Hey, it's super fun,
We got a
man.
merch mannequin.
We got a merch mannequin.
What?
This has been it's been super cool. We like it here.
You
Man.
guys got merch?
Yeah.
We got
Eat,
merch,
pray,
yeah.
love.
Yeet, pray, love.
Wow.
You ever wanted to yeet, pray, love?
That's awesome. I support it. You guys
Yeah.
are. How long has this podcast been going on for?
Dude,
80
I think
something.
that was
episodes.
2 years.
Yeah, it's
2
a
years
lot.
this month, I think, or next month.
Man, I was a part of the podcast once.
Oh, dang, man.
Well,
You and who?
It was me, Hartman, and Andrew Van.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
False
yeah.
start.
Oh,
The one that he still does.
still doing it.
Well,
He just fire y'all.
Did he just cut you guys out?
not really, man. It's because like we all kind of like it was like the three of us kind of thing, and then he started getting his improv guys doing it, and it was all weird. And now he doesn't
he-
even do sports stuff. Well, he does sports stuff, but it was supposed to be like based on sports movies.
Yeah.
Is it
But
not?
now it's just like, hey, what kind of cheeseburger do you like? So I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah.
Shout out Andrew Van, I love you.
That's so funny.
Love you, Andrew.
Dang, man. Did he like tell you guys, hey guys, I think
No,
I'm
it's
moving on?
our because it was me, Hartman, and him, and we had trouble syncing up our schedules.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so-
it's-
Yeah.
dude.
It's hard,
yes,
especially
yes.
with three, and so he got punched, and I don't know, he he kind of ran with it. And
The
so
schedule
I just
thing.
kinda
That's why we have to do like 4 in a week.
Well, we did
Yeah,
one
it was like something crazy.
Secret's out. You should have
Yeah.
told them. Now they know. You should have been like,
yeah.
oh, we do it for you guys.
Yeah.
all the time.
Dude, this body we've quit. Like,
No, you got to
twice.
keep it in because we could get on lockdown. You could wake up tomorrow and be like, oh yeah, by the way, now you got to stay in your house. So
That's
keep it in the can.
we
I
were
know.
actually about to stop doing the podcast, and lockdown happened. It's like, well, what's the most convenient thing we could do?
Just talking
Entertainment-wise,
for an hour
is
plus
definitely a
with
podcast.
people.
Have numbers been up since quarantine? Because I hear everyone's numbers streaming wise are up.
They've
due
been
to-
they've been consistent. I
consistent.
think we've gone up some.
Do you have an super random like people in Ghana love us like, so, like
We were
Singapore?
number 13 in Hong Kong.
We were
on
number,
the-
dude. I forgot to mention we were
Number
number
13 in Hong Kong?
Kong.
on
Yeah,
the-
like
on a
last
certain
week
chart.
on like Apple Podcasts. Apple
Yeah.
Podcasts.
Who's your guest?
No, it was just like the whole podcast was number 13. I think it was just like the show in general.
Yo, if you're in Hong Kong
Guys, if
right
y'all are in
now
Hong Kong
and
right
on Twitter,
now-
give me a follow.
Well, we're like right now we're number 43 or something.
Yeah,
We
and that's
dropped.
why I was like,
but
we
I'm like
need
that's
to-
Is
ridiculous.
this under religious podcasts?
I think
Yeah,
so.
it's in under
Yeah.
religious. Yeah,
I love that.
And religious and comedy.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you
even
guys
though
take
we just,
donations for the Lord?
yeah, guys, if you want to donate right now, we just help you buy a house.
1-800 number. Yeah, right.
Man, we did. No, we. This is one of those things like we don't care about merch sales. We really just love having conversations with people.
It's fun.
And we're like,
It's
hey,
so
let's,
much fun.
if we can, this church that I go to, and my friend Andrew went to, they were like, hey, do you want a space upstairs?
I love that you're in a church right now.
Yeah.
Did they know that?
Super official. Hey,
I think we
we're in a
mentioned
church right now.
We're in a church right now.
Used to be in my
Kyle's
basement.
in church right now, guys.
I am in church right now. What
And
kind of
you-
church is this?
This is a non-denominational church.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the most accepting name for a church.
Non-denominational.
Non-denominational.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
What did you think? Nothing.
Just be a good person. Come on in. All right, cool. I'm for
Yeah,
it.
that's cool, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I'm
But we
very
try,
for
man.
this.
We got snacks. We got a mini fridge and stuff, and cameras. Camera there.
And it is hot in here.
It is super hot, man. Hey, let's wrap it up, guys. It's been fun.
It's
Kyle,
been great.
Thank you.
I will come back as soon as you call.
Yeah,
as soon as you let
dude,
me.
and hopefully
As soon as
we're
you
gonna
let
get
me.
this AC thing worked out, and so that way I'll just talk as long as we want and not be cooking.
You guys are the best. I had a great time. Wash your hands,
Sure.
everyone.
Hey,
Don't
he
send
said
off,
his
bro.
slogan. He
Wash
said
your
it.
hands.
Hey, what? Hey, wash your hands. I didn't say it as cool as you did.
It's all right,
Say it
it's all
again.
right.
Say it again.
Wash your hands, everybody.
All right, see you.